Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead and time for supper. Tom will be out in about a half hour, but it's going to take him 2 hours to get home. So I thought, because he likes to talk to me the whole way home, I thought maybe I should get the prep done and then I can put everything together and let it cook. So I'm going to prep it now, and then when he gets about 30 minutes from home, then I'll pop it in the oven because it's going to be a sheet pan meal. I know we could have done it last week, right? So I've got a recipe that I'm following somewhat, but I'm going to add a few things. Like, that's pretty normal for me, right? Because I have a few things to use up. Like, baby carrots are not in it, onions are not in it. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to add those few things because I have those few things to use up. And nobody wants to let your food go to waste. You know, so you can always add something so that you don't, waste that food. 'Cause I don't know about you guys, but groceries are crazy. I was just talking to someone about next week and the week after. There will be duplicates for that. And I'm trying to get some other channels to join in, and I haven't heard back from any of them. Hopefully somebody will join in and we'll get more recipes than just mine. But there'll be duplicates, but most of that stuff you will find either in your freezer or your pantry if you have one. I put in an order, and for 2 weeks I still have to pick up. I'll have to pick up bread and hamburger buns, but other than that, and that includes my coffee and a few other things, my grocery bill is going to be less than $50 for both weeks. And you know that we feed Jack every night, and we have lunch for the next day for Tom at work. So I don't think that that's too awfully bad. And like I say, probably 85 to 90% of it is going to be all from my pantry, which, all those channels are doing the pantry challenge right now. I'm going to label, Three Rivers on my description, but I'm not going to follow a whole month or two. I think they do 2 months of it. But I'm certainly going to try to do as much pantry cooking as I can. This is not looking good here. Maybe it's just the one spot, I hope. Yes. Oh, I was like, are you kidding me? It's just the one edge there. I'm like, I don't have any more sweet potatoes, so that would not be good at all. I've done something like this before, but not quite. So it's going to be kind of new for me too. But I'm pretty excited about it because, A, sheet pans are so nice to do. B, it's using up some things that I had. And I got the sweet potatoes. Remember, I told you 39 cents a pound. These are the last two that I had. So let me cut these down just a little bit, and then I'll come back when we cube them. So the first thing I'm going to do is cube my sweet potatoes. Yes, I have a dicer, but sweet potatoes are so hard. I hate to use my dicer for that. And they get to too small of dices, if that makes sense. And I don't want them too small. I'm doing them probably not quite an inch by an inch. And I am putting those in water since I'm not going to cook them right away. I love sweet potatoes. I just wish they were easier to cut up. It's really funny because somebody asked about the Alfredo, that had I ever tried it, and no, I hadn't, because everybody said it was gross. Well, then since I started my channel, everybody's like, Alfredo's so great. Well, Tom and I, neither one of us liked sweet potatoes before. And then I started learning different ways to cook them, And so now we both like them, including sweet potato fries. So, you know, I guess I'm as guilty as anyone else. They're just like, ugh, that's gross. But until you try it, you really can't say much. Like, the gravy, for instance. I never used to like sausage gravy. Well, I didn't like sausage gravy because I didn't like gravy. And actually, a boss of mine, when I first got in the credit card business, his wife one day brought in some gravy, sausage gravy, and she did it in her crock pot. And you know, you guys, it was really, really good. And it wasn't until I started making some of my own gravies that I actually started liking gravy a little bit, because, I mean, I'm still not the biggest fan, but I always figured, I know this is gross, but gravy is nothing but a bunch of grease, you know what I mean? And that's how I seen gravy. And actually, my brother, he started liking gravy towards the end of his life too. Him and I, they'd make gravy, and him and I would always put butter on our potatoes because we didn't like gravy. But he started eating it towards the end too, so hopefully it doesn't mean it's towards the end for me. No, I don't think so. But anyway. But now I'm starting to like gravy a little bit. I always liked the white gravy, or I don't know what other thing they call it, milk gravy. I think that's what my grandma used to call it. I always liked that. And I always liked SOS. But that's the white gravy. So that would make sense. But the other, like beef gravy, I liked it on the burritos. But other than that, no, not really. Chicken gravy, turkey gravy, all that, no, not so much. I'm going to have to let some of that water out of that bowl, or get a bigger bowl. One of the two. Let me grab a bigger bowl. Alright, so remember we had that onion left over, and I had to actually cut off a piece that was bad. I'm telling you. These vegetables nowadays, I'm not going to cut them in small chunks. I'm going to keep them right about the same size that I did the sweet potatoes. And I'm going to put those in the bowl that I didn't need for the sweet potatoes. Because I figure it's not in the recipe, but why not have it right about the same, you know, bite size that it's going to be for everything else. Just a warning, the Girl Scouts are about to come out with their cookies. So my niece, my grandniece, she is selling them again this year. So she lives right down the road from where my brother did, and I don't feel like driving an hour up there. And so I sent $12. I usually do that. I send $12 to her mom, and I'm like, just get the kids each a box of cookies. Because she's been in Girl Scouts for, oh my gosh, for a long, long time. And if I can support her, I would like to be able to, you know, help out a little bit. Imagine when I first started buying Girl Scout cookies, they were like $3 or $2.50 a box. Crazy. Now these baby carrots, I'm just going to chop in half. I'm going to add those right to the onions. And I'll still have some baby carrots left. Maybe I'll send the rest of them to work with Tom tomorrow. They're real small like that, I'll just throw them in. Because I'm like, why not? You know, I just thought about something. But I'll use it tomorrow. Never mind. I was thinking about what I was making tomorrow, and I can use it tomorrow. I do have a pepper left from last week that I should be getting used up. But I'll use that next week. Or not tomorrow when I cook. Now it calls for Brussels sprouts, which Tom is not a fan, but life sucks. But right now to buy them raw is like $4 a pound. So I can get this big bag for like $1.74, I think. So I bought frozen Brussels sprouts. And I left them partially frozen because, well, you know what? These are really small, which is wonderful. I love Brussels sprouts, but I don't like those big ones. I think they're bitter. So I'm actually going to leave these whole. It said about cutting them in half, but they're so small. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love how small they are. So we're just going to leave them whole. Haha, one less thing I got to prep. And then we're going to use our favorite kielbasa. I know they have down at that Amish store, they had this on sale, and I really need to stock up on some. So I was thinking, after my oil change this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what I was thinking to schedule that early. I was thinking, you know, you could just jump right on the highway. Well, while I was getting my oil change, it said here in Lansing that the snow was supposed to start at noon. And I thought, well, okay, that's an hour and a half down, hour and a half back. Well, then I typed in Bronson, and it started at 11. So I'm like, nope. Well, then when I got home, it was like 8:30, and it was already snowing. So I'm like, no. But they have the big packages on sale. Plus, they have that ham and a few other things that they came out with this week, and I'm like, ugh. But if I don't have to drive in snow, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I hate snow. All right, so then I'm going to just chop these into the rounds. And that's it. That wasn't so painful. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and add that. See, this way I have a towel because if I drop something, I'm just going to go ahead and add that right to the veggies. So see, there's 2 bowls I didn't have to dirty up. All right, so he'll be out in about 10 minutes now. And when he gets closer, he's got to go to Little Dusty's tonight, and then he needs to make one other stop for me. And but by the time he gets to Little Dusty's, or just before then I'll have him call me and tell me, and then I'll get dinner started. So then it'll be nice and hot, and we don't have to heat it back up. Sounds like a winner to me. So I'll be back shortly, and we'll get dinner put together. All right, so Tom's at Little Dusty's now, so we're going to get everything put together. So I'm going to do it differently than what they say, but that's okay. You do you the way you want to. I'm going to add the meat to it too. And then it says to use some olive oil on it. I could have probably used a bigger bowl. And then it says drizzle it with honey as well. So we're going to put some honey in there. That should be enough. And then salt and pepper. I think the extra stuff I added is going to be really good, honestly. And I have my oven preheated to 400. Well, it's preheating. How's that? And then we're going to get that all mixed together. And then if I think I need more oil or something, once I get it on the pan, we'll do that. I think you could probably use maple syrup too, which I'm actually more of a fan of maple syrup than I am of honey, but I'll follow the directions somewhat. How's that? And I figure, you know, when you mix everything together, you're going to taste it on the meat too, so why not? Oh, that's going to be beautiful. And colorful, because you guys know how I am with the color. So we're going to dump that all on that pan. Just like so. And we're going to spread that out. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? There will definitely be enough for dinner and lunch tomorrow, I would hope. How's that? That look beautiful. So now we're going to put it in that 400 degree oven, and we're going to let it bake for 30 minutes. So we're going to set our timer for 30 minutes. And I think I'll check it in maybe about 15 and see if it's browning some places too quick or whatever. And if it is, then I'll kind of stir it up a little bit on the tray there. So another sheet pan meal, which there'll be a sheet pan meal tomorrow too. All right, I'll be back. So there it is done. I'm gonna scoop it up and everybody can eat. Well, hi Tom.
Hello.
I think you snuck a bite.
Just a carrot.
Oh. So there's Din Din.
Sausage.
Belle thinking she needs to be a star.
You beat a star, Belle.
How's it taste over there, Jack?
Tastes real good.
Even all the veggies?
Yeah.
Hot?
A little bit.
It says to cook it for 30 minutes. It took about 50 minutes, actually. So what do you think? How's the flavor?
Delicious.
Alrighty. He had to drive home in snow, so we're going to let him eat because he's going to have to get up a little bit earlier because he's got to drive to Detroit in the morning, so.
And I gotta shovel the sidewalk before I do that.
Yes. So you guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing, and goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
You guys have a great night.